Hey guys, TJ here, and welcome back to another video. What you see here is Fort Rickley, an ancient and half-ruined castle which I built about 4 years ago. And as you can see, it has become a little bit outdated. So I am going to give this build a huge upgrade. I will be transforming the entire keep into a way bigger and more impressive medieval ruined castle, including many different structures, a well-sized graveyard, a bunch of giant catacombs and even an entire abandoned village. This build was going to be so big that I actually had to split it into 2 episodes, of which the second episode will air next Monday. Before we get to building, I am happy to announce that we have officially launched the Anticlimax Patreon. By becoming a patron, you gain access to special features on our Discord, access to the Anticlimax survival server, as well as some of our world downloads, depending on which tier you choose. The main keep of this build will be up for download once both episodes reach 100 likes and my channel 2000 subscribers, although for High Lord patrons the download for the entire build is already available. Anyway, let's get into the video. First off, we had to remove the old castle. I was going to move it to another location instead of entirely delete it, because I was still going to reuse some old parts for a new build. Subsequently, it was time to transform the mountain in order to make it more suitable for building. This was going to be quite a big transformation since we had a lot of things planned for this project, and it all had to fit on the same hill. When all of the terraforming had been finished, I expanded the forest around the mountain so the hill will be entirely surrounded by trees, making it blend in more with the surrounding area. This would also give our future build a somewhat more eerie and abandoned look. After that was done, I sadly wasn't really satisfied with the look of the new mountain. The cliffs were way too big in my opinion and the entire hill just felt very out of place. So we did the terraforming part all over again. Now I would say that this looks way better. With our new and improved hill finished, we could finally get to building. I started off with the path that will be leading up the hill, as well as the first gate. For the gate I decided to use the one that we also used in our old castle, because I was still very satisfied by the look of it. I actually based this gate off of a real life castle situated in Ireland, called Leap Castle, which coincidentally also happens to be haunted, just like our castle. Along the road I built a few ruins that will be the first out of many that you are going to see in this episode. For this build I also wanted to add as much detail as possible, so when you will be exploring this complex yourself you would find something eye-catching no matter where you look. In between the gate area and our first ruins I created a tall wooden bridge to connect the 2 parts. Fort Rickley was once an impressive looking castle ruled by the now extinct House Rickley, a house which was quite wealthy in the region but would very soon turn into one of the most infamous houses of Phytor. Behind the gate we are going to build the first courtyard, which was going to be surrounded by a small wall. This once was the major meeting point for inhabitants and traders of the region, and several small stores of merchants were located around this square, although that is a site that was lost a long time ago. The Rickley family wasn't particularly a family people would take an example of. Betrayal, torture and exploitation of the poor were just a few of many things the family was well known for. One well-known story is about 2 twin brothers of the Rickley family, Duncan and Darren Rickley, which already had a gruesome reputation in the region for their torture methods. Just as they were identical, they were also inseparable. Aside from the pleasure they both took from torturing the innocents, they also had the same love interest. For the sake of their relationship, they promised each other to never marry. Sadly though, the younger brother of the 2, Duncan, broke the oath and married the woman anyway. When Darren found out, he burst in anger into the sept during the wedding, killing everyone in the building, his own brother amongst them. By doing this, Darren doomed himself to die alone in the castle. Some say Darren's spirit still roams the castle halls, calling for his brother. While I told you this background story of the family, I actually finished the first courtyard area, a few old gardens, as well as the second gatehouse, which I think turned out quite nice. Next up, it was time to build a small village that was going to be situated on the north side of the hill. Except for a small church, the town wouldn't have many notable buildings. By the way, if you would like to see a video on how to build ruins in Minecraft, just let me know in the comment section. After the village was finished, I surrounded the bare fields around it with more trees. I also decided to make some alterations to the bridge because it didn't have the abandoned feeling yet. Luckily for me, only a few vines, leaves and some block replacements did the job. Before we could start building the main castle, there was only one thing left to do: the graveyard. While the stories may not lead you to expect it, House Wrigley actually was a very religious family. They believed in the shepherd, a religion which the majority of the region follows. As long as there was space left on the hill, those unfortunate enough to die at their hands did in fact get a proper burial. Although sooner or later the space ran out and the Wrigleys had to find different ways to bury their dead. I had never built a graveyard of this size before, so for me this was also a fun challenge to tackle, but I think the result turned out great. Because this build was so huge, I've split this time-lapse into two parts. In the second part, which will be released next Monday, I will show you how I built the main castle and the giant catacombs, as well as tell you how Fort Wrigley came to its horrible end. If you want to explore this build yourself, then make sure to check out my Patreon. The entire build is already available for High Lord patrons. The main castle on the other hand will be up for download for everyone as soon as both episodes reach 100 likes and my channel 2000 subscribers. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Have a very nice day and see you next time. Bye bye.